What's up guys, Sam Adams here, and tonight I kind of wanted to talk about Assassin's Creed Chronicles China and just kind of touch on it, why I think it's actually a pretty cool game. This isn't endorsed, this isn't sponsored, I just thought that it actually turned out to look kind of interesting, and I was actually really surprised by that. So, if you aren't familiar with Assassin's Creed Chronicles China or the other two, India and Russia, basically these are 2.5 dimensional side-scrolling platformer games that are set in the Assassin's Creed universe during different time periods in different sections of the world. And I talked about these yesterday on the drop, so I might repeat a couple of the points that I mentioned, but I still want to talk about it. So the drop will be available in a link at the end of this video if you want to check out some of my other content, if perhaps you're new to the channel, or you just want to rewatch one of my older videos. Anyways, the one thing that I really like about Assassin's Creed Chronicles China is the art style, and this goes for India and Russia too. Basically, if they had tried to go the realistic route as they do with their normal Assassin's Creed games, this would not have turned out well. There's no way you can make a 2.5 dimensional side-scrolling platformer in a realistic fashion and it perform well. It has to have some kind of artistic flair to it, and they do this really well. The China one specifically has a kind of Okami look to it, if you aren't familiar with that older game. It's just kind of that Chinese vase, just the old Chinese paintbrush art kind of look to it, and it works really well. And then in India, it's kind of got that Far Cry 4 look to it, where there's a lot of rainbows and bursts of colors and very exciting, you know, catching the eye kind of thing. And then Russia's a very hardcore looking Russia looking thing, but the art style is what really stands out amongst these games, but I was more concerned about how the game was actually going to play. I will say that I have not purchased this game. Do I plan on purchasing it? Maybe, and we'll get into that in a minute. But I have watched it a good bit on Twitch, and as far as I can see, it's actually working really well as compared to Unity last year. Obviously, if you haven't heard, Unity was terrible as far as bugs and major mechanical flaws go. But Chronicles China looks to be performing well. The 2.5 dimensional thing is really cool, and let me try to explain this in the best way possible. So normally, you know, you've got, say, Mario, and he's running across the front of this screen right here. So now take that and imagine that this is where Mario is running. You know, you've got this one little platform, and he jumps and does all the stuff right here. So you've got this, but in Assassin's Creed Chronicles China and Russia and India, as well as games like Rayman Legends, which is actually one of the free games for Xbox Live Gold a couple of months ago, you can hop back and forth between different depths of that 2.5 dimensional field. Say you wanted to hop back a little bit more, or there was an opportunity for you to do so, you can actually hop back a little bit further in the map, and you can hide in different locations and go into different doors and stuff. Ultimately, it's just a really cool play style, and I would highly recommend just checking out some gameplay, because I don't do a great job of describing how it works. But basically, it's not your standard Mario or Metroidvania style game. It's got a little bit of an extra flair to it, and it does have some cinematic moments where you'll zoom in on a different angle, or you'll get a big, huge, wide view of a eagle thing where you jump down off of a high tower. It's just a really interesting game. Another of the things that I think is really cool about this is that if you were one of the avid Assassin's Creed fans that purchased the Assassin's Creed Unity Season Pass, you get Assassin's Creed Chronicles China for free. That's actually really cool. However, if you don't have the Season Pass, which is a high probability since not a lot of people bought that, you can actually get this game for $9.99, which is actually really good. I'm actually really surprised, actually. Yeah, for 10 bucks, this is not bad. It's a great looking game. It looks like it plays really well, and it's really great, like I said in the drop, if you are a speedrunner. You know, you can figure out the best way to get through the maps, where all the enemies are, and it's one of those games where you'll learn it. It's kind of like Trials. You know the best way to do it, and I think that that's really great, especially since they're releasing I don't want to say versions of this game, but 3 different worlds for this game franchise, or little spin-off series, you know what I mean? So, that being said, where I think this is really going to shine is where I hope, fingers crossed, they make a physical copy of this. I could see an Assassin's Creed Chronicles collection, or Assassin's Creed Chronicles just flat out called that, and then you can choose between each of the games on a physical disc for between $30 and $40. I would pay for that. I think that that's a really cool idea, and I think that they should do this. What they shouldn't do is bring this to mobile. That would be a terrible idea, because then it makes the console players feel like they just got kind of ripped off because they're now playing a mobile game on their consoles. That's beside the point. They probably will bring it to a physical copy. Will it come to mobile? Maybe in some way, shape, or form. But this is loosely based off of, I personally believe, Assassin's Creed 2 Discovery and Assassin's Creed Altair's Chronicles. There was also some kind of iTouch game. I think it was just called Assassin's Creed. Believe it was by Gameloft, if I remember correctly. It's loosely based off of those. So will we see a mobile adaptation of this? I don't really know. I hope not. But at the end of the day, Assassin's Creed Chronicles China is one of 3 new games coming to the Assassin's Creed franchise that I think is going to be a nice start for a kind of spin-off thing. I hope they don't do this religiously, but it is a good idea, and I think that in the end of the day, it just looks really cool, and it might just be something that's worth playing one weekend. So there you guys have it. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, drop me a like down below and comment what you think about Assassin's Creed Chronicles China. Does it look good? Do you like the way the game plays? How about that art style? Let me know in the comments down below. And of course, if you are new to the channel, don't forget to head over and check out some of my other videos. I upload new stuff like 4 or 5 days a week, so there's always something new for you to check out every time you drop here on the channel. And as always, I want to thank each and every one of you guys for watching this particular video, and I'll talk to you soon.